Victory Tuesday here on the
Let's
GG
go.
Sports Podcast. Obviously, with the fun events of Skol Fest and travel and, well, not going to lie to you, just being a little bit too tired / hungover, we did decide to push the stream back a day to Tuesday, but we both made it here. We're here to talk about the win. Vikings did knock off the San Francisco 49ers 23-17. Big win. Your Vikings are 2-0, feeling pretty damn good going into another tough game this weekend. We're gonna be here tonight talking about this last game. Talk a little bit about Skol Fest because obviously everybody was there. We had a great time there. It was fun to see everybody. People we've met before, people we hadn't met from the chat. It was a great time. But we're back. We're ready to talk more Vikings football. Jamie, how are you doing this wonderful Tuesday evening in Vikings land?
Yeah, my voice is a little raspy still. So obviously that means we had a lot of fun. Talking a lot, screaming a lot, yelling a lot, a lot of things I do on this podcast sometimes too. Maybe not so much yelling, but talking, yeah, definitely happens on here. Let's do some shout outs here. We got our guy Gary in the building, of course, my dude. It's crazy that we just saw, I'm going to go through all of you guys, but we just saw a bunch of you literally 2 days ago. What, one day, not even 2 days ago, whatever. George Blunt, hey, I know I just got all your emails and stuff. Gary, George has a lot of pictures for you. I'm sure Adam wouldn't mind seeing them himself. We got Bob Sweet in the building, Skol, Gary, and George. Let's go. Our guy Two-Tone showing up for Skol Fest. I know my guy here had a great time. He got to really see how we do it out at Skol Fest. Let's go. Oh, my boy Adam. Speaking of Gary and Adam showing up. Adam.
We're sorry.
I told Gary to let you know that we apologize for not making it back to Corner Bar, but obviously we appreciate you so much showing up to the whole thing and everything you and Gary have really done for the whole Skol Fest and stuff, man. Seriously. And it was fucking amazing meeting you. And I can't wait to hang out with all you guys at all the other Skol Fest and everything else. Hey, we might do. Kinetic in the building. What up, guys? My guy.
And for Adam, we're sorry that it all came at the expense of your 49ers. We're sorry.
Which I know you didn't even care. You were probably rooting for the Vikings anyways. Who else we got in here? Who else? Oh, yeah. Again, everybody going with the Ivan Pace Jr. rookie card. So get the hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video, and subscribe if you're not already. Like Casey says, we're a day behind. So, I mean, we'll probably be talking a little bit more about next week too. But we're still got to get in here and do the show. We still got to get in here and do the show. Great to meet you guys. Great to meet you too, bro. Great to meet you too. Let's go. Sure, let's go. Anyways, I guess just more on Skol Fest itself. I guess we could just have a rundown on our freaking busy ass weekend.
Yeah. I mean, obviously.
I'll let you start with that.
Yeah, I guess, after our round of golf on Friday night, we had the VWO party. Hung out with Rap and SK and the boys a little bit afterwards.
Skol Mafia.
Hit the town with Skol Mafia and his kid
Crown.
And his stepson. Crown was there. Crown. It was a good time. Got a little whipped up. Then Saturday, of course, Skol Fest. Great evening from 6. Basically, most of it was from 6 to 9 o'clock. We was kind of hung out there after, watched the fights and stuff. Then obviously game day Sunday, did some tailgating. Watched a really, really, really good football game on a hot, sticky day within that stadium. Doors were open, humidity, you could feel it, but it didn't matter. The energy in there was amazing. Vikings obviously won the game, and then kind of wrap. I mean, it was a busy weekend. Head still kind of spinning from it. Between all the people, the beers, the excitement of the game, and meeting everybody and stuff. Busy weekend. Busy weekend.
It's a couple-day recovering time, man. Recovering time. Like he said. We went golf. We played like 18 holes Friday. We actually, and all you guys already knew that because after we played 18 holes, we came right on here to do our live stream in person that we did for the very first time. And hopefully we'll be able to do again, not too long in the future. Probably a good chance it will be next Skol Fest, but we'll see what's up. Yeah, next year's Skol Fest. And then, like you said, we hung out with the boys and everything and went out and stuff. And that was a lot of fun. But for Skol Fest, man, dude, what a great turnout. what a great experience. It's always fun to do that and to do the live shows and all that good stuff. But really the best part is at the end when we're all hanging out, whether it's outside or whatever it is. In this case, it's outside, hanging around the table and then just shooting our shit, talking about the games, talking about everything. And that's the part, we all do this for I always say like the Vikings is kind of like the thing that brings us all together here. But it is crazy. Like in reality, like you take the Vikings out of the way, it's just a bunch of good people becoming friends and getting to know each other and stuff like that, and hanging out and drinking beer and stuff. So it's a great time, and that's the number one thing I appreciate and love about Skullfest is honestly, like we do the live stream, all that stuff's cool, but it's really once that's all over and we can all hang out and fucking talk some shit and talk about the Vikings in general. So yeah, dude, everybody that showed up, we appreciate you. Everybody in here that didn't, hey, we still love you. But next year, I'm expecting you to be there. 100%.
I mean, you, Darren. Better be there next year, Darren.
Wish I could have been Skullfest, hung out with the GG crew. Hey, every single year. We're going to get you all here one of the years. Hey, Jamie, did you grab the other prize I won from the joint a while back? I think SK said he was bringing it. So he did bring it. I totally forgot to grab it. So I'll hit him up and he's just going to have to send them to you. I know the same thing with George too. Same thing with George. I kept forgetting to have him, even though we've had it. So I even had a card there for Too Evil and I forgot to give him that as well, but we'll get it to you for sure. I'll let him know. I'll just get him your address and all that good stuff. What's going on, Tycoon? Welcome in. Skullfest 2026, dude. 2026 is going to be crazy. I don't even know where we're going to be for that one or where it's going to be at least. But no, back to Skullfest though. So that was great time. Obviously, another late night, nothing crazy happening as it did the first Skullfest. Yeah, absolutely, bro. And then game day, I guess kind of just going through this whole thing, game day, we went to the VWO, what's it called? Tailgate. And that's a party. That shit's crazy in there. I mean, this was cooler. I thought this was cooler than last year. I don't even remember what it was last year, but they had like couches out and people were playing Madden and shit and food. And we ended up getting like a $25 wristband and get all you could drink, which we were taking advantage of because I do
probably a little too much for how we wanted to spend Sunday.
Too much. Well, yeah. Early in the morning, it was like, hey, have a couple beers. We go in there, we grab like 4 beers right away. Then after that, we all walk to the stadium. We get to the tailgate, like Sal's, anyone that knows Sal, she's on Twitter, makes great content. She has her own podcast now. If anybody should go find her on Twitter and go follow her, but we went to her tailgate and we played. And I already was like, I need a break from these 4 beers. I was like, I need a break, like just a little break. Let me get in the stadium now.
No. But to preface this, what you're about to talk about, we would not have participated if it was you were the one that wanted to participate. So you can't try to push this all off as if, I got forced into it. Tell the story, but everybody remember, he's the one that wanted to get us in this game and participate. So Jamie, go right ahead.
Hey, I like to participate stuff. So yeah. So anyways, we go to the tailgate thing. There's a game that they play, which I think I've heard of it before. I don't think I've ever played it. And it's Thunderstruck. So it's the song Thunderstruck. And then you get a big, like a big group of people around. I don't know how many, there's probably like 15, would you say, in a circle. And then it starts with every single time. As soon as the song starts, someone starts drinking. As soon as it says thunder, it goes to the next person. There's 2 parts of the song where it's a very long stretch, specifically one that you have to keep drinking for that whole stretch. And first off, one thing I noticed when we got in that circle, like Casey said, I was like, no, we're doing this. And we took a bunch of Jello shots on top of that. So I was like, I didn't really want to drink that much, but I thought I'd be good. And then, I remember they said they were going to go left and then they decided to go right. And I think I know why. I think they knew that it was going to end up in our area. And then I got stuck. Oh yeah. Long story short or longer, I got stuck with the Thunderstruck. Stuck with the Thunderstruck and had to sit there and drink for like a minute. And I was trying to baby it a little bit. Everyone would call me a bitch and shit pretty much. And then I chugged it and then I had more. So then we brought it to the next level and then went to the game. And obviously, the Vikings fucked the 49ers up for 4 quarters. In my opinion, I thought it was a lot worse than the score showed it. especially because obviously you had the Aaron Jones fumble, and you had the and then obviously the Sam Darnold pick or whatever. But the Aaron Jones fumble, I mean, it was just, I mean, outside of that game in week 1, it was all about Dexter Lawrence on that defense. And this week it was all about Warner. What's Warner's first name? Losing it first. Fred Warner. Awesome game by him. But it still felt like we were whooping ass for most of this. Hey, Zoe, I thought you were going this year, Zoe. Oh, you're going next year. You better go next year. I miss you, bro. I thought we were gonna meet. What's going on? Hey, Vocal Vike in the building. My boy can hang. He made sure I fucking knew it this weekend. My guy, let's go. Hey, what's up, Purple Haze in the building? What up? Anyways, yeah. So Vikings game. I guess this is a good time to kind of go into we did the whole Skol Fest breakdown, and we can kind of get into this game, man. What's, I guess, initial thoughts?
So, I mean, obviously 23-17, it's not a blowout by any means, right? I mean, the score, realistically, the Vikings should have probably won this game 30-10. A couple bad turnovers, especially down right. I mean, in the red area, goal line stuff. Couple little things here and there. This game could have been a much bigger blowout than, but I think we both kind of shared the same sentiment that it never once felt like we were losing. Like, it always felt like we were in the driver's seat with the momentum most of the game, even after a couple of the turnovers, right? So, I mean, we had the big special teams play beginning of the game there, which turned into 3 points. It never felt to me, even though this game did get a little tight, it never felt to me like we're going to lose this game. I had that confidence we're all pretty confident at Skol Fest Saturday night, but there was just something about when you got there and all that stuff, and like especially after the block punt, I just had that feeling that we're winning this football game, and I never felt like we were in danger of not. Like, I always felt like we were in control of this game from start to finish. So
exactly,
overall, I think it was a masterclass of coaching by O'Connell and Brian Flores. Obviously, it doesn't matter how good of coaches you are if you don't have the players to do it, and I think what we saw was what this team can be when things are clicking on all cylinders. And that's even with Jefferson missing some time throughout the game. No Jordan Addison, no TJ Hawkinson, like no tight ends weren't involved in the passing game. So even with all those players not playing, I know Aaron Jones went out a little bit with an injury. Ty Chandler stepped up nicely. Defensively, everything was great. Like, even without some of those players on offense, we were still able to execute and beat a team like the 49ers. Sure, no Christian McCaffrey. I don't care about that. They still had all these other players. Jordan Mason still had 100 yards on the ground. And did he have, I guess only one catch, but he still had 100 yards rushing. So this, to me, if this team can keep playing like this, they can win a lot of football games.
Yeah.
So my initial thoughts are this week 1's like good. You're supposed to do this. Week 2 legitimizes that this team can be something this year. So I'm very, very happy. And it fills me with confidence going into next Sunday against Houston.
Dude, big time. And Flores' defense was flying around, attacking the ball like bronze. Dude, Flores, I mean, we're going to get into some winners and losers eventually here, because he needs coaching, like you said, awesome. Flores, dude, I think we have the best defensive mind in the entire NFL on this defense. And I hope we can just keep him around forever. Of course, he's our guy. We got to root for him to get a head coaching job. But at the same time, the idea of Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores for the next 20 years as our coaches, that's a dynasty waiting to happen. So I loved all the coaching, like you said. And ultimately, generally, like at the end of the day, I felt like we did control this game from start to finish with a couple. I mean, the Aaron Jones one, that's basically a touchdown, couple yards from a touchdown fumble. We're in the red zone on Sam Darnold. I mean, you just take those, because the interceptions that we had against the 49ers, that was more in their zone, I believe. Mm-hmm. Maybe there was one towards I don't think so. So, I mean, we were in position to even score more points. This game probably should have been like 30-10. So, man, huge victory for the Vikings overall. But we'll get into some more stuff here. What do we got here? Everyone heard Purdy post game. He Flores. Yeah, dude. It is, dude, it's so crazy. And after watching the Eagles last night, and we'll get into a little bit of that probably because Kirk Cousins, we got to talk about him at some point. But after watching their defense and what's his name? DeFangio, is that their
Fangio? Yep.
DeFangio? They do not rush at all. I felt like I was watching a Donatell defense last night from the Eagles.
Yeah.
Especially at the end there. Like, you're not putting any. If you learn anything about Kirk Cousins and playing against Kirk Cousins, you should put the pressure on him or at least get someone else in there because he's not going to be able to use his legs very much. So I'm really happy to go from seeing that last night, but going from Ed Donahill and what Brian Flores brings is absolutely crazy here. But yeah, dude, it is cool. I'm feeling I love KOC. Yeah, I love KOC. He changed a lot, dude. He is a beast. GG, you guys missed having to drink a shot or the 49ers. Dang, I did not. That's crazy. Oh, that sucks. I wish I would have saw that. Yeah, I'm working on that shit tie right now. My next year. Yeah, let's go. Hey, you're good. You're good. You're good. Hey, again, everybody, giving away the Ivan Pace Jr. rookie card. So get the hashtag Skols in the comments, like the videos. So subscribe if you haven't already. You guys know all that. One thing before moving forward, I just want to see real quick, go through the stats one more time. I know we're, that was 2 days ago. Let's see here. Oops. Keep forgetting which one's ours. Give me a second, boys. There we go. Oh, wow. I still have to change that too. Okay. Anyways. So just looking here, Sam Darnold, 17 for 26, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. 1 interception was definitely bad this week. Last week, it wasn't totally his fault. Ty Chandler looking like a baller, 10 attempts, not 82 yards. Aaron Jones, 9 for 32. Sam Darnold, 5 attempts for 32. There's the difference between him and Kirk right there. Justin Jefferson, obviously, the greatest play I've seen in a long time. Nothing beats an almost 99-yard touchdown. And probably, I believe that's the longest in Justin Jefferson's career. I mean, most receivers, even the greatest of all time, never hit that level, unless your name's Bernard Berrien, Jalen Naylor, another great game, three catches, 54 yards, another tutty. Aaron Jones, 5 receptions, 36 yards. Keep going down here. Blake Cashman, 13 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 sack, 3 pass defense. What a baller. Bynum, 8. Metellus, 7. Patrick Jones, 5 total tackles, 2 solo, 2 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. Hell of a game. 1 forced fumble. Harrison Smith, another solid game. Pass defense, 5 total tackles. But Van Ginkel, again, 4 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 1 pass defense.
A touchdown, like Darren said.
Yeah.
Would have had another touchdown.
Yeah,
pretty much the same exact play.
And we'll get into all that in a second here. But yeah, dude, another great game. Obviously, on the other side of the ball, as Casey said, I mean, we still allowed 319 yards overall, but I don't know. You're at some points of these games, you're kind of allowing a little bit when you're up the way we were. But Mason was the big one on that team with 20 attempts, 100 yards, and a touchdown. But still, we didn't it didn't really feel like he was just destroying us or anything like that. And then Debo, 8 reception, 10. Who cares about all of them?
Debo did end up getting hurt into that game as well for them.
Yeah, which is crazy because he made it to literally the last play. So let's get into what do we got next here? Boom. We're gonna do this Skol Gauntlet again. We like this one, Skol. Yep, get them hashtag Skols in here. I sent you guys a video of Adam. Oh, I'm gonna watch that. The football gods were smiling on Darnold and JJ. Dude, that was so sick. All right. So anybody who has not been here for this part, this is a new segment that we're doing where we each get 30 seconds to answer each one of these questions, starting with who we think got the game ball. Casey, we're going to dive right into this. Let me know when you are ready.
3, 2, 1. Let it roll. So obviously with game ball, you're thinking Sam Darnold, you're thinking Justin Jefferson because of the big play. I'm going to stay on offense. I'm going to go a little bit underrated with this one. I'm going to go Jalen Naylor. So obviously 2 weeks in a row, 2 catches or 2 touchdowns, obviously great scheming by Kevin O'Connell on those plays. But I think with what we're seeing with Naylor in these last 2 games, plus what we saw in the preseason, even when Jordan Addison is healthy, Jalen Naylor needs a spot on this offense because he brings an element that we just don't have with his speed. And he's showing it. 2 touchdowns, 2 games. Jalen Naylor's got my game ball.
Stud. My game ball is on the other side of the ball, and there's a lot of guys there. I know a lot of people really liked what they saw out of Patrick Jones, but I got to go with this week's Van Ginkel, and that was Blake Cashman. from Minnesota, the
Ayuma.
Gopher, a guy. I mean, you got to give Kwesi so much credit for going and grabbing a guy like Van Ginkel and Blake Cashman. He was all over the place. I believe he had like the first pressure and sack against Trent Williams in like forever. Big sack, like we talked about, 3 pass defense, 14 total tackles. Oh, and we're done.
Come on.
Dang it.
Move
I
quicker.
talk about him more.
Gotta talk faster.
Hey, JD in the building. Let's go.
Right.
Let's go. We got to keep out rolling here. Here, hold on. Let me bring this back up. Going on to the next one. The biggest loser. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Now, I hate to do this because it's really hard to call him a loser. I mean, you could look at the interior defensive line, allowing Jordan Mason to go for 100 yards, some other things. I'm going to go with the one I hate to do, and I'm going to go with Aaron Jones. Yeah, he did add 5 catches for 36 yards in the passing game, but 9 carries, 32 yards, only 3.6 per carry. Plus, he had that big, costly fumble. Nice play by Fred Warner, but the big, costly fumble at the 1-yard line. Not a great second performance by Aaron Jones. Luckily, Ty Chandler stepped up, but Aaron Jones, he's my loser this week.
And like you said, I mean, if there's any of these that are going to be hard to talk about, it's losers, man. It's good. We're in week 2. And we're having a tough time back 2 weeks in a row talking about losers. But like you said, Aaron Jones, it doesn't really feel like there's any losers, but I'm going to go out to the other side of the ball again. Just like you said, that defensive line did good as far as pressuring goes and everything like that. But at the end of the day, we still allowed 100 yards to Jordan Mason and a touchdown. So I'm going to put it on him. And I would say interior offensive line still could have did it better.
Mm-hmm. All right, start sit. Ooh, this one I got to think about for a second here because this is a tough one. This is a tough one.
Get a sit. You need a sit. Oh yeah, you do need to kind of sit for a second.
Go.
Okay. All right. Boom.
I'm starting Jalen Nailor because he got my game ball. Like I said, no matter what, even when Addison's back, you got to keep Jalen Nailor involved in this offense.
Yeah.
And who am I sitting? Every tight end and still freaking TJ Hawkins until Hawkinson gets back. I mean, no one's really stepping up. Johnny Munn hasn't done a whole lot. I mean, Josh Oliver, did either of those guys even have a catch this game?
I don't think so.
They didn't. So Johnny Munn had 2 catches for 12 yards. I need to see someone else out of the tight end. So sit every tight end until TJ Hawkinson gets back. I'm kidding, can't do it, but you know what I mean.
Same with you, man. That's a tough one. Jalen Nailor. I guess like if you want, like he needs a role in this offense. And I agree with you on that. So I do like that one. Another one. Oh man, I don't know. So I'll say Jalen Nailor as well. I'll agree with you on that one. I'm still on the Ed Ingram train. I do think we just need to get Reisner back and put him in that spot. I still seeing a lot of dumb plays out of him. So hopefully, he can come back, and I think that's the first one you replace.
Woo, so Sam Darnold report. What's that one about?
So that's just where we at with Sam Darnold, where do we think his potential is. Do we think he's still going to be? Do we still think he's going to? Like what do we see out of him for the rest of the season after 2 good weeks? Ready?
I like it. Ready? Boom. Roll. So Purple Parlor last night stole my tagline. Sam VP is what I'm calling him this year. Nobody expected much out of Sam Darnold. They said he's never going to play. He's going to. Stephen A. Smith said he's going to show his true colors against the 49ers. Sure, it was at home, but that defense was still ready to go. He did get sacked a couple times by Bosa, and he still stood in there. He made plays with his legs when he had to. I think we're seeing what Sam Darnold can be with a good coach and good offense. Is he going to elevate players? Probably not, but playing within a good offense, he's going to be able to do that. Sam Darnold, starter the rest of the way, MVP. Not really, but I'm saying MVP.
Anyway. Sam Darnold, no, he's blowing everybody's expectations out of the water at this point. And I don't know if I think he's just going to be MVP type of season. I mean, who knows? But I do think he's shown enough, even in just 2 weeks. We'll find out to make us a playoff team. The biggest thing is that huge drive at the end of the game without Justin Jefferson, without Jordan Addison, without TJ Hawkinson, and putting us in at 23 points, giving us pretty much the win.
Yeah. And by the way, and I do want to talk about one more thing before we move on. I know this goes outside of the 30 seconds, and I'm still talking fast, so I got to slow it down a sec. I heard some people say like they thought he missed the throw to Jalen Nailor that picked up that conversion. Where actually he didn't miss the throw to Nailor. He threw it exactly where he had to throw it. He threw it kind of back hip away from the defender. Nailor made a nice adjustment to catch the ball.
The big third down.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, dude, that was beautiful.
That was they always say you have to throw the ball to only where your receiver can get it. And that's exactly what he did on that play. And it was awesome. So
yeah. And I'm like, I don't even know if he did that on purpose. We'll just say he did. But he just threw it up. Yeah, it was in the perfect spot. If it was any more forward, I don't know. I think he could have still probably caught it, but obviously you would have had the defender's arm in there. Potentially too. But all right, let's keep going here though. We got Sam Darnold all the way. Ooh. Are the Vikes for real? And we probably won't even need this after this week after we move on to Houston. But let's keep going here.
Yeah. I mean, how can you sit here and watch 2 games and say, oh, from what we know in 2 games and who they've played, how can you say they're not for real? They whooped the Giants like they should have, and they beat the 49ers, a team that nobody thought we had a chance. And it could have been, and again, if they didn't make a couple mistakes here and there, it could have been, like we said, 30-10, maybe even more than that. So are the Vikings for real with everything that we know from what we've seen in the regular season? Are they for real? How can you not say yes? Now, they might prove us wrong, but for right now, how can you not say yes to that?
Yeah. So on the other thing, a lot of power rankings came out today. They boosted, pretty much everybody has us in the top 10 now. But ESPN came out and put us as pretenders, 2-0. Whooping the Giants, whooping a bad team, which is good. There's times where we lose against bad teams, but play good against good teams. We whooped the ass of a bad team, and in my opinion, whooped the ass of the team that everybody projected as the second best team in the NFL right now. I definitely think we're real, and yeah, dang it. Well, just finishing that one thought real quick. I definitely think we're real, and we'll find like this game this week is gonna prove a lot on that.
Yeah. It's tough. It's gonna take some time to get all of our thoughts out in 30 seconds. It'll take a little bit of practice, but we'll get
there. We'll get there. All right. Injury concerns. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm not concerned whatsoever. Justin Jefferson, he's going to be just fine. Quad contusion. He said himself he's going to be good to go. Luckily, it's when he's down, you always think the worst, especially after last year. But he's going to be just fine. Jordan Addison, let that ankle rest. I mean, obviously what we've seen from Naylor and some of the other pass catchers and Powell, who had some big third downs. Let Jordan Addison heal up. Let him rest. He's going to be good to go in a couple weeks. TJ Hawkinson obviously has to wait till after the bye anyway, which is great. And then obviously Aaron Jones, even after he did go to the medical tent, did come back. No concern about injuries.
Okay. For me, obviously, I'm with you. Jordan Addison, it was just his ankle. It was his other ankle, which is never generally good, but re-hurting an ankle usually means a lot worse. So with all the injuries going on in the NFL right now, we're kind of getting a little bit lucky here. I think we'll see Dallas Turner and Justin Jefferson playing on Sunday. And on the other side, like you still got Dalton Reisner, what we've talked about, that should be coming off the IR within the next couple of weeks. TJ Hawkinson, if we get him back after the bye, that's going to be huge for this team. All right. Hey, we're going to jump right into this last one. So we got week three predictions, expectations, all these things. Ready, set, go.
The classic thing where a girl breaks up with you, you meet a new one, and then you bring her, then you end up accidentally running into her at a bar or out and about, and she sees how much better you did. That's what Stephon Diggs and that's what Danielle Hunter are going to see this weekend. They're going to realize the Vikings are better without them. You got Justin Jefferson, who is the least amount of Stephon Diggs deal you'll ever see. And you traded basically Danielle Hunter for 3 or 4 solid pass rushers. Mm-hmm. We're going to win this game.
I love that whole analogy. And at this point, Stephon Diggs knows he was the uglier girlfriend without a question compared to Justin Jefferson. But no, dude, I'm with you. This is going to be, we said San Francisco is going to be our hardest test. I still think they are. And that's the reason why, which Houston is really good. I still think the way our defense is playing, I think we can stop their offense. And if we do get Justin Jefferson's healthy, but this is going to be, it's going to be a tough one, man. It's going to be tough. I'll give us the W. I'm giving us a W. At this point, you got to keep giving W's. All right.
Gary, it's a PG show. I'm kidding. You can say whatever you want. It's fine.
All right. Last one. I don't have it on this list here, but we're going to go with Kirk Cousins coming back last night. I went to bed at like with 5 minutes left, just thinking the Eagles were going to win or whatever. And then find out Kirk Cousins made a comeback. So where are we at with Kirk Cousins? Casey, what do you think Kirk Cousins? Do you think he's more of like a week 1 or a week 2? And do you think he ultimately will be that guy for the Falcons? The guy that he, in my opinion specifically, wasn't for us.
Okay.
Ready?
Is it 30 seconds? Okay, yeah, go.
30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, boom.
Yep. I might be able to keep, whatever. I think I would rather take what we're over 2 weeks. We know what Kirk Cousins can be and can do, but I would rather take Sam Darnold at $10 million than Kirk Cousins at 45. Like, we've seen this from Kirk before. He'll do all this great stuff end of games. He's a good, I like Kirk Cousins. I still like Kirk Cousins. I still think he's a good quarterback. But I would much rather take what we have now with Sam Darnold than that with Kirk Cousins, because we've seen all that before and it got us nowhere. Now, mystery's out. It could go anywhere.
Yeah. And you know, that's the thing with Kirk Cousins. The thing with him is he has these really good games, especially recently, where he has these consistent games. But what we seen in the first game is exactly what we've seen out of Kirk Cousins that I've seen for a lot of years, where he just has stretches of bad games, which can kill you, especially if it's in playoffs. And not on top of that, again, just like in 2022, we didn't score any. We were down going into fourth quarter every single time, and Kirk Cousins stepped up, but didn't do a lot in the first three. That happened again last night for the Falcons. One more.
Speaking of stepping up, Darnold steps up and runs where Kirk Cousins doesn't, just like Maddie Mann said there.
All right. I do want one more, and then I'm going to come back to your chat here. I'll come back to the chat here. One more. This is another good topic I think that I should have had on the list, and it is, what do you think the Vikings, let's say, how good do you think the Vikings and Sam Darnold would have to be for there to be any sort of extension, if that's even possible in your opinion? Let me know if you're ready to go.
I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, boom.
I think it's very possible. I mean, look, you have a quarterback coming off an injury. I saw a lot of people say, like, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams look solid in the preseason, come out in the regular season, and so far they haven't looked that great. Obviously it's not. There needs to be stipulations. Like, I think at the very least, Darnold needs to get you to the playoffs, and he needs to win a game or two to make you even consider it. But then it all depends on what he makes, which is a totally different story. So I do think there's a chance, definitely. But he has to get to the playoffs and win a couple games for sure.
I think I'd have to be extremely impressed. And I'm talking borderline Super Bowl. I mean, if we go to the NFC Championship, and it's no question, he's throwing like 5 touchdowns or whatever. But regardless of like Sam Darnold's skill, at the end of the day, you know, is it as much Sam Darnold as it is Kevin O'Connell's offense and how Kevin O'Connell is. And at the end, the whole plan is to have a rookie on his rookie contract. If you pay Sam Darnold, we're not going to use all that money on the free agents we want.
Right. And I guess
we can have that conversation.
Right. And just talking about that. And I do agree. So like, because like I said, kind of in our Sam Darnold segment on the Skol gauntlet there, is that exactly, like, is Sam Darnold the type of quarterback that can elevate a team? Like, is he going to be that guy? Or, because here's the thing with everybody's saying that, like, Sam Darnold, the reason he didn't succeed at the previous places, which I agree with, is because he did not have the talent on that team to succeed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like a lot of times, is that good enough though? Like, do you need to make sure that you, like, how do I want to say this? If you want to invest a bunch of money in a quarterback, do you just want the baseline to be, well, we have a good team, so he's going to be good because of that, right? Or do you want a guy that you think can take players who aren't Justin Jefferson, aren't Jordan Addison, and elevate them to the next level? It's a small sample size, right? Maybe by the end of the season, maybe there'll be a couple games where Jefferson doesn't play, or maybe there'll be a couple games where Jalen Nailor just keeps his hot streak, and you just realize, like, dang, Jalen Nailor's like good, but I think Sam Darnold's making him play better. So it's a small sample size. But I don't, like, the jury is out. Can Darnold elevate an offense? Because at the end of this season, we'll have 8 seasons worth of Sam Darnold tape to watch, and realize up to that point he hasn't succeeded until he's had a talented roster. Which, right. And like we talked about, because I think I've said the same thing about Kirk Cousins a couple of times. Like, it's 100% okay to have a quarterback that is good because of the team around him. But what you're looking for is that guy that can elevate the team to the next level.
Yeah. So
is he going to be that? I'm not sure. I seriously think that JJ McCarthy could be that guy.
Yeah.
Again, but for this year, without even the chance of McCarthy playing, just for the future of our coaching staff, right? Like, you just want to see that Kevin O'Connell can take Sam Darnold and elevate him. But can he be the guy to bring the team to the next level? Remains to be seen. I do think a lot of that would have to factor in as well.
Yeah. And at the very least right now, like, you're seeing everything you need out of Sam Darnold and want out of Sam Darnold. Is it feel like he's a Patrick Mahomes all of a sudden? We're not getting that yet. Or is he even Baker? Like, the way Baker Mayfield's been playing in these first 2 weeks is absolutely amazing. I don't know if we're feeling those kind of vibes or anything like that yet. But if I'm Kwesi and I'm Kevin O'Connell, and what you did with Sam Darnold, you got to feel pretty confident in yourself and how you develop a quarterback. And you obviously drafting JJ McCarthy, everything Kevin O'Connell said about JJ McCarthy going out of the preseason, even all the inside talk about JJ McCarthy potentially even starting in game one, it'd be really, really hard to go off the path of going or having a rookie on a rookie contract, believing that he can be that guy and having all that extra money left over to spend in free agency and or contracts extensions or whatever. And I think that's the best recipe for winning a championship. But if it gets to the point where he's in the NFC Championship and plays really, really well, it's going to be a hard decision. And I don't think if that is the case for him, he's going to want to go and sign a long-term contract somewhere else. And that's what we'd have to give him, which would pretty much ruin the whole JJ McCarthy thing. And ultimately, I think JJ McCarthy is more that guy than he is, even though we haven't got to really see him in a real game yet in the NFL, but we saw a couple weeks of Sam Darnold.
But hey, if we're like having this conversation now, after that 49ers game,
it says a lot.
It's a good thing.
It says a lot.
If we're still having this conversation in January, then you know that things went really, really. So I hope that we're sitting here end of January talking about should Sam Darnold get an extension. I really, really hope we are, because if we are doing just that, then that means we're probably making a deep run in the playoffs. So let's hope to God that we have this conversation at a later date. And honestly, I feel like this is going to be, I mean, Sam Darnold is going to be the topic all season long, right? Because the rest of this team, we kind of know what's going to be here next year from certain perspectives. But like, I think every week we're going to be talking about, has Sam Darnold proved himself yet? And unfortunately, it's kind of unfortunate for him, because obviously with how well he is playing, it sucks that we have to have this conversation every week. But also him coming here would have known this was going to be part of the deal anyways. Like, you do have a young quarterback who eventually they want to bring in after you, right? So I really hope we're having this conversation later on in the year. I hope for Sam Darnold's career, he keeps playing well and ends up getting a big time extension somewhere, because he's shown us if he's got a good team around him, he can go out there and ball. He's confident. If he's confident within his offense, which KOC is kind of making him be that way.
Don't go over seconds. Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Well, either way, Darnold, I think I love. I mean, and I don't want to talk about the future right now. Let's just go week by week basis.
30 seconds would be a personal record for me. And speaking of that, I know from Sam Darnold. After I say that, I'll come back to Mary. All right. Dan, I want to catch up on these chats during that part. We're trying to speed that up. So Dan Henneman in the building, my guy, FT Maddie. Obviously, okay, I feel good enough. What up, Mary? Mary's in the building, trying to go to Skol Fest next year, which is great. Welcome in. JD in the building. JD, who else we got in here? Happy God, Kirk, but we're all better off without. Yeah, it's a fact. Hey, I want Kirk to do good. I know what he is. I think Kirk's a good quarterback. I just don't think he's the quarterback that's going to win you a Super Bowl. It's just it's as simple as that. And until he does, then I won't really believe that.
Right, and that's where you got to wonder if like Sam Darnold ends up being like Kirk Cousins, just who's able to make a few moves and be a little bit more.
This segment is fire. Let's go, Vocal Vike, my guy. I know. I told him that we were thinking about trying to pull this thing off, which I do have fun with it, because it gives us like, I can't ramble for like 10 minutes or whatever, even though I want to so bad after that 30 seconds is up. Who else we got in here? Yeah, again, everybody in here. We got the Ivan Pace rookie card. So get the hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video, and subscribe. We got 23 people in here and only 11 likes. So let's bring those likes up. For real. And then everybody in here, we give stuff away every single week.
Tell your friends.
We're putting a lot of work in these shows now. We're trying to make it better and better. I'm telling you right now, we're going to keep making it even better than it is today. So if you're not subscribed to us, you should go definitely do that. If you're watching on Twitter, you should go to YouTube and follow us there. All that good stuff. But let me keep going down here. Who else am I miss? Did I already say Skol TY catch? My guy. Let's go. Getting to the bottom here. Hey, Steve's in the building. What's up, Steve? What's up? Justin's in the building. Let's go. Okay. Okay. We're back. I'm caught up with these. So I guess we're just going to dive a little bit more into who our winners and losers were in this game. Obviously, we kind of given a lot of our opinions on the losers. There's not much here. So we're going to start there. I guess a little bit more on these losers. the DGA. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, they told me that hats are going to be sent out this week. They said that they're going to be shipping them this week. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I don't know where it's shipped from, but it could be a while again. So we'll find out. But hopefully we get those soon. Winners and losers, Casey. I guess. I mean,
you say we're starting with losers, or are we talking winners?
Losers. We'll start with losers here. We got
okay. I mean, I guess we kind of covered a lot of them.
Appreciate you, bro.
I do think that defensive interior, though, like nobody really stuck out by having a bad game,
right?
I mean, but still allowing 100 yards on the ground, which did obviously the fact they were able to run the ball did open up that pass game. Debo had 110, Kittle had 76. So it did open up the pass game a little bit. So I think if there's one position group, I'm a little like, I guess both sides of the ball, I'll say running game in general, disappointed that Aaron Jones didn't have a little better game, his home opener here. And then wish we would have done better against the run on defense. So, but luckily Ty Chandler, I was able to kind of come in, spell Aaron Jones, especially when he was injured, and put up pretty solid numbers. So,
yeah.
But I guess if I was going to be the most disappointed about one thing, it would be that run game.
Yeah, and like you said with Aaron Jones, he did a lot of decent stuff too. Really, if that fumble didn't happen, we wouldn't be having the conversation at all.
Right.
But there's not a lot to talk about. If this was a normal, or at least the game people expected out of us, we probably wouldn't be talking about Aaron Jones right now. But I got to go with Dan Henneman here, and he had with Ivan Pace a little bit. He had a tough matchup against Kittle and Juszczyk for sure, but still, I mean, I think, let's see here. I have PFF stuff up. He ended up the lowest grade PFF grade, specifically with 30.6, specifically in coverage with a 27.6. He was getting picked on quite a bit during that game, where obviously Blake Cashman was a stud in the secondary, though, when he had to be. So I'll give it to Ivan Pace. Still really tough matchup. Overall, the defense played, pretty dang good in my opinion. And then on the other side of the ball with the interior, Ed Ingram ended up having the second lowest grade with 51.9. But there was just one play with him where Sam Darnold was trying to escape pressure, and he was doing some Mahomes type stuff, or Caleb Williams type stuff. Even Caleb Williams can do that part, but he hasn't been able to prove to be consistent on throwing. But he was moving around. It was set up to be a really cool play, I thought, potentially. But Ed Ingram was just kind of just standing there. Like, he missed his block already, and he was just standing there, and Sam Darnold runs right into him. And it's just one of those things, again, like maybe I wouldn't have cared, but then just remembering Ed Ingram with all the foot stepping on and all those things. It's kind of annoying. And I think if Ed Ingram wasn't there, I do think there's a good chance that Sam Darnold would have been able to get out of the way. Not even talking about the fact that Ed Ingram just didn't even block the guy, because the dude was coming from behind the line of scrimmage at that point. So I'm gonna put that one up there.
And then I guess since Darren bring up he's disappointed in the turnovers, of course. I mean, 4 turnovers in 2 games. Luckily, again, I think Kevin O'Connell's like 19-0 if he either breaks even or wins a turnover battle. So that's huge. Right. Obviously, we've done that the first 2 games, especially after last season started. And I will say, Darnold played a great game. Had some big time throws, had some nice runs, but that interception was kind of classic. Sam Darnold just didn't. I mean, obviously Fred Warner's one of the best linebackers in ball, right? But he just didn't see him. And I think it may have been a bad snap. I think I brought that up at the game. I thought I had saw maybe bobble the snap a little bit. I have to go back and watch it, if someone correct me if I'm wrong. But that one just felt like a classic Sam Darnold not seeing the whole field, making just a bad read and, poor decision and, pretty easy interception. Like, it wasn't like last week where, it wasn't necessarily his fault for the interception. This one was definitely he just did not see Fred Warner, and he threw the ball and it ended up in a negative play, especially like you said, when you're down on their side of the field, a chance to put up more points, especially a little earlier on in the game when it wasn't put away like that. So yeah, the turnovers, I think, is definitely something you could say is disappointing. Hey, Barber, what's going on?
Hey, dude, I was trying to hit you up. I need to get your number or something, but no, I just want to let you know we appreciate you coming up, man. It was so cool to meet you and your wife and everything, and I'm glad that she likes our shirts. But yeah, no, for real, I'm hoping we see you at every Skol Fest here, Barber. Every Skol Fest. For sure. Anyways, let's go back. Let's go to some winners now, because I mean we had a little bit on that. Some winners, I would say. I know we got again. Who is everybody talking about here? We got. Disappointed in the 4 turnovers. I saw the Van Ginkel, and Van Ginkel had another good game. Yeah, because I already saw Cashman. I mean, you can go into that a little bit more in a second here, but Van Ginkel, 2 games in a row, almost had a second pick six. That dude mastered the skill of spying spying on what's it called screens, and almost did it twice in a row. That would have been so wild if he did that, but not even that. Like I said, he had tackle for loss, another sack, another pass defense. This dude's an absolute stud. When we got him, I knew he was going to be a fan favorite based specifically off of everything Miami fans said. So stud. Already talked about Cashman, Sam Darnold. I mean, 97-yard touchdown. You could put Justin Jefferson and Jalen Naylor in this. Justin Jefferson just got hurt. Otherwise, he had 122 yards. But we're so used. Justin Jefferson just like he could be up here every single week, so you don't have to say too much about him. But what a stud! What a stud! And Jalen Naylor was wide open on that same exact play as well.
Right, and again, it's scheme. Someone had to play from like a top down view. Kevin O'Connell, the way he's kind of worked that with him 2 times, like the scheming is perfect. Scheming, play calling. It's what Kevin O'Connell's just been doing so well this year. It's only been 2 games, but he's definitely showing that he has, like people thought, that he's going to be one of the best young play callers in this league. And I guess if you're talking receivers, we do got to toss in Brandon Powell. 2 catches, 16 yards, and I'm pretty sure both those catches were third down conversions. So, again, kind of what we all expected of Powell in this offense. He wasn't going to have any big plays, but he's going to have the big plays that convert third downs. So, Powell just kind of doing exactly what Brandon Powell does in this offense, which is what I like to see.
Catch. I saw that he did it. I didn't watch it yet. Let me know what he was saying in there. Like, was he hyping it up? I mean, I know he's someone that he'll definitely pick on the bad plays and stuff like that.
For sure. And then obviously, as Darren says here, I know even though he didn't get the sacks, Grenard playing ball, and I think he did have one this game. He did have a sack this game. Yeah, Grenard, and I think he's got most, like he had 5 pressures week 1. I don't know how many he had this week, but he still, he had the 1 sack. 1 other quarterback hit. And then you got to talk about Pat Jones. 4 sacks throughout 2 weeks. I mean, again, Pat Jones is one of those guys who we've felt the last couple of years. Like, I know you felt worse about him than I have, but I think we both did agree he didn't up until this year hadn't really shown us what we wanted to see.
Right.
Now we're finally starting to see it come to fruition. I mean, 4 sacks in 2 weeks is pretty ridiculous.
That's tied for second or is second right now in the NFL.
Yeah, but Pat Jones, you gotta applaud him playing really, really good ball, especially in this Brian Flores defense. And there's just so many different options at pass rush here, which definitely helps.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say the more special thing is out of like 69 total plays or whatever, total snaps, he played 34 of them. So he's got 4 sacks, and same with last week. He has 4 sacks while playing like 50% of the time. So that's even more impressive because I bet you everybody who's on top of that list is not the same scenario.
Right.
So yeah, definitely stud on that side as well.
Yeah. I guess Stephon Gilmore, I believe he had a pretty good game as well. I mean,
Ty Chandler.
Yep. I guess if you, I hate to go back to negatives, but if you do want one more negative, Dallas Turner didn't really make much of an impact on defense, and he had the kind of the bad special teams play where you could have pinned him at the 1, and he ended up, going into the end zone for a touchback there. Especially when he didn't have to slide, he decided to anyway. So
he did have 2 hurries
by Dallas Turner there, but
2 hurries at least. But obviously, young player. There's that one play where he he was trucking Trent Williams back though. Like he almost had him all the way into Brock Purdy there. And that does not happen to Trent Williams. So that says a lot about Dallas Turner too. Still a young player, still figuring out a little bit, but yeah, I think having him.
The biggest winners for me is coaching. Kevin O'Connell on the offense and just head coach in general, and Brian Flores, what he's doing with that defense. I mean, this is honestly, I was actually just about to get to the first game after Darren said that.
We really didn't touch on that. That's crazy.
Obviously, whatever. Coaching, awesome. Brian Flores, Kevin O'Connell, we love what they're doing. Leadership, all that
Before
stuff.
Moving on, I'll let you dive right into let me say one thing. I'll let you dive right into Will Reichard when you're done with that coaching thing.
That was just kind of it. Just what they're doing they're both using, again, is this perfectly what we like? Is this the final team that we want to see here? No, I do think they're still potentially building towards that. But with the pieces they have, Kevin O'Connell, Brian Flores, they're making it work. I mean, 2-0, beating beating the brakes off a bad team, and then coming into your home stadium beating a good team like the Niners.
Yep.
What these guys are doing this year, again, this is what is going, and I think Darren Wolf has said it today, this is what is going to earn Kevin O'Connell a long-term extension to be the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings for the foreseeable future, and most likely is what will end up getting Brian Flores a head coaching job within the next couple of years.
Yeah. I was just going to say the one thing is just for them to out-chess, I guess you could say, just outplay call against Kyle Shanahan, who's well known for being like a master at that. And we straight up did. That's what's super impressive. And I don't think there's not one, and we heard it all last offseason, there's not one offensive coordinator excited to play against a Brian Flores' defense. So it's super impressive. But yeah, dude, talk about the boy babyface assassin, Will the Thrill. Will the Thrill is coming. Will the Thrill is coming. Let's go.
3 for 3 on field goals, long of 39 yards, hit both of his extra points, has not missed a kick. Did you hear what Coach Hat said about him today, by the way?
Who?
The special teams coordinator.
Oh, yeah, the hair.
He basically, so what he said is he cuts his hair at the beginning of the season and he doesn't cut it again until he misses. So I hope he is out there kicking in week 18 with hair down to his ass or however the hell his hair. I bet his hair probably seems like the type that's going to flow nicely. It's not going to go straight down. He strikes me as the type of guy that's going to have just nice flowing hair. So hopefully he's out there with just a huge head of hair, kicking bombs end of the season. And again, like that last drive, which you give credit to Sam Darnold, again, for leading us down the field, much like Kirk Cousins did, led us down the field, got us into scoring range, and put us up 2 scores. And like, this is the first time, this is like, and I don't know if I bought into all the hype or what we saw in the preseason as well, just throughout training camp. I have not been stressed about a kick all year long. Maybe the first extra point, just because we all wanted to see it go through with Will Reichard. But ever since he made that first extra point, I have not been worried like when he went out there for basically the game sealing field goal. I said I think we talked about it. I was like, this is over. It's done. He ain't missing this. We're going up 2 scores. It's over. This is the first time I can say that in a long time about a kicker. So
what a warlord.
Will Reichard, man.
Dude.
I love Will Reichard.
I
should get a Will Reichard jersey.
I know, and that's the reason we got our I know. Well, actually, no, I was gonna say I had an idea. I don't know if we should do it. I don't even know if I should tell the chat about it because I feel like it would be something cool to just pop in here. Yeah. So no, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it.
You're dangling the carrot.
I'm gonna save it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna save it. Sorry guys, but hey, we'll find out. I'll tell you if I don't do it. I'll tell you what I was thinking, or if I do it, you'll find out. I'm surprised they gave 17. There's something else I was gonna say.
We have a long-term kicker for sure, Maddie, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and that's I was gonna say that, and we're getting views on our Will Reichard video about breaking the curse and stuff again because obviously that's what it feels like, man. It feels like this guy just comes in and it's just like he's just hitting everything. He's hitting everything. Obviously, his longest field goal right now is 39 yards, right? So it's not, he hasn't gotten the 40-yard territory, but obviously with the biggest concern being his leg, and we've seen him hit 50-yarders and longer, and people are saying that there's no problem he could hit from 60 yards, so that's huge. UTs. Yeah. I think, I'm gonna think about this one. I think it'd be kind of funny, but I'm not gonna keep talking about it. Otherwise, y'all are gonna find out. Bye, Mary. Thanks for popping in.
Anything else, I guess, before we get into the giveaway? And I think we kind of covered everything.
Let's everybody again, given the we can talk a little bit looking forward here, but giving away the Ivan Pace Jr. rookie card. So get the hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video, and subscribe. Giving this away in a little bit here.
Hey, what's going on, Ben?
So just looking,
hating on Cousins till that final 2 minutes when Kurt went to work. Yeah,
last night's game, hating on. I know everybody was. It was like he's so bad, but that's what I was saying. And this has, I think Kurt's good. I think he's good. I don't think he can win. I just don't think he's champion, winning a Super Bowl level. I don't know. He didn't prove it to us during that.
Sam Darnold is.
Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold definitely is, right? Like 100%. Everybody knew that before the season starts. I'll buy you a shot if you share JG. Nah, a shot? You got to buy me 2 shots. and send it to my house. DoorDash. You got to DoorDash 2
DoorDash
shots to
them
me.
2 shots. I don't think you can even.
Um,
You could no, you can't DoorDash shots.
no, I don't know.
Be
Probably
awesome
not.
though.
Staying. Hey, let's go. Um, what were we talking about before?
I don't know. You were gonna say something. You kind of just stopped talking.
Well, I did say hashtag Skol. Get that in
You
the
did.
comments. Like the video. Hey, we did get the likes.
I mean, did you want to talk a little bit? I mean, I know we already kind of touched on the game next week in the Skol Gauntlet section,
Yeah,
but
just a little bit more, I guess, is just early predictions. I mean, this is a game that everybody would have had us losing. We had it. If I was to go into the season, I'd be like, I'm more afraid of San Francisco over Houston. But Houston, at the same time, I knew this is a team that was going to continue. I said it at one point. I don't know if it was what we were talking about. Maybe it was our score predictions or whatever. But at one point, I was like, I do think this is I think they're the team that jumps up into that Bills contention level. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not going to say Kansas City, but San Francisco, the Bills, that type of contention type of level. So
yeah,
I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
It is. And it's because they're talented at all levels, right? I mean, obviously CJ Stroud, defending rookie of the year, who, by the way, I mean, as Jamie said multiple times last year, Bryce Young was far and away better than CJ Stroud. We're seeing that that's 100% true now, right? But they got CJ Stroud at quarterback. They have the league's leading receiver after 2 weeks in Nico Collins. You still have Stephon Diggs there. You have Tank Dell, who's a really solid. I mean, he played well at number 2 receiver last year. He's playing really well at number 3 receiver this year. Defensively, at all levels, they got playmakers. I haven't watched enough of them yet to really. I mean, I've been watching enough of them yet, or enough tape to really point out a ton of names. But the main ones. Danielle Hunter's there. Derek Stingley at cornerback is playing really well as well. So. It's gonna be a tough test. I mean, and it's the same thing like what you look at with us. That DeMeco Ryans is gonna come out and have that defense ready to go against our offense. And I think he's gonna have a good plan for Sam Darnold. But I trust Kevin O'Connell to come up with an even better plan for Sam Darnold against that defense. So I think this one to me is gonna be a lot more. I mean, the last week was fun. It was a good matchup to look at. I think this one's gonna be a really, really fun game because CJ Stroud, he's that young gunslinging type quarterback. And he's got a ton of weapons there, much like the 49ers have on offense, too. And I don't know if Joe Mixon's playing. I know he was questionable. Not sure exactly what's going on there. But I don't know. I think it's going to be another really, really, really tough test this week.
Yeah.
But I'm not counting them out. You can't count the Vikings out. And I think I did see the line did open at we're 2.5 dogs at home, which is a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, which I'm not surprised. People, they're boosting us up there for sure. But talk about a tough outside the Giants. Talk about a freaking tough stretch, man. Huge game for us. I would say Nico Collins. I think at this point he's the most underrated. I would have said that about Amon St. Brown probably like a year ago or whatever. Even though Nico Collins he could have been that guy, but he's the most underrated wide receiver in the NFL. He's so good, and to have guys like Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs there now and that type of talent, and he's still putting up over hundreds of yards every single game, and just that guy. It's so that offense is talented. It is kind of scary, man. I do think they match up better against us than San Francisco did overall. If they don't have Joe Mixon, that would be obviously really helpful. On defense, I mean, it's still though, they got Danielle Hunter. I get it. They got Will Anderson. But having Brian Flores is just showing us over and over again how significant that is for our team or any team he's the defensive coordinator for. And at this point, it just feels like I feel like we can match up with almost any offense until we see otherwise. I think we can get this W, but it's not going to be just soup. I think this is the hardest game left on our schedule, in my opinion.
And kind of like Bendito says too, I do think this is going to be one. I think since we haven't had a team really try to do it yet with the way that the 49ers play offense, I do think that the Texans are going to come into this game and try to stretch our defense out. So I do think that they are going to try to test the corners because they haven't really been tested that heavily this year yet. I don't think. So I do think that is going to end up being their game plan. So hopefully Brian Flores has a good game plan in return for what they're going to do in offense. Because they really can take you at all levels. I mean, 3 really, really good wide receivers there that you have to watch out for.
Dude, 100%. But we won't get too much into it because, we might be doing live streams every single day this week almost. Well, at least the next 2. We'll find out what we're going to do for sure. So we can't give too much out of the way right now. Again, we're gonna give this card away. Let me know if everyone wants to do the duck race. All that good stuff. One thing during the duck race, I forgot to put it in there. I want to see. I'm going to put a few names in there and see who everybody thought had was the deserved the game ball of the week. Something we need to get it. I know One Bar and Lup they do the stud of the week or whatever, but we're gonna have to find our own name for something like that. 7 votes. Yeah. All right. I think this. I'm going to put the new one on here because I think that's absolutely a duck race. Everybody's liking the duck races. All right. Let's see here. Game ball. Who should I put in there? Game ball. I'm going to put Sam Darnold. Who else? Who do you think? Who, if you could pick
Darnold,
4 people?
probably Cashman. Are we leaving JJ out just because he's too good?
Yeah, we could put Will the Thrill.
I'd say let's go Darnold. Let's
Will
go
the Thrill.
Cashman, Will the Thrill, and toss Pat Jones in there.
Yeah.
I think those are some solid names.
All right, we're gonna run this bad boy. Jalen Naylor, Ty Chandler. They could have. CJ won't get away from Pace. CJ, yeah, no facts. Speaking of CJ, CJ Ham, he could be a stud on it. We didn't even talk about him as a winner after last week with the fumble, and everybody's like, "What's his role in this offense?" Da 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 da. It's like, no, you. First off, he's a captain of the special teams. Second off, most people who say that they just want like a 5th safety who doesn't even get on the field at all and only play special teams. But CJ proved a lot of people wrong right in the beginning of this game with a monster block kick that really, that set the tone. He set the tone. So let's go CJ Ham, and I'm glad he's on.
I don't know if we ever actually mentioned Josh Metellus with a pick either.
Oh yeah, Josh Metellus with a pick.
Yeah.
Well, off the bobble. Who was the other pick again?
Jahad Ward had a pick.
Yeah, Jahad Ward. And Jahad Ward too. He was definitely deserving to be on this team. Matt, dude, this team is so deep. Come on. Brian Flores, how deep this team is and what he can do with every single player and put him in the best position to succeed. Yeah. See ya, Houston. No shot. All right. Yeah. All right. We put the poll up.
So
let me get these giveaways going.
Poll run while we pick some names for the duck race.
Yep. Here we gotta jump back to this one, I think, and take down this banner here. There we go. All right, we got 16 entries. Everybody in here who isn't signed up, giving away the Ivan Pace Jr. rookie card. Get the hashtag Skol in the comments, like the video, and subscribe. All that good stuff. We're going to get rolling this. If anybody doesn't know, we play the duck race. We pick 5 names, goes in to make it to that next round, and then whoever comes in first place during the duck race wins the card. Obviously, we have a lot of fun doing it, but let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oh, let me get the duck race up too at the same time. And the first winner we got is, got to be here to win, Dan Henneman. Dan, are you in here?
He just commented a couple. Oh, yeah, he should be. He literally just commented.
I believe it. And then we'll just keep this going. Let me know when Dan runs in here. Did he put in here?
Not yet, but I'm going to assume he's here.
Zoe, I don't know if you're still in here, bro.
So Dan is.
Dan, I got you on. Zoe, let us know if you're still in here. I'm going to keep it going. Let's see. And we've got, boom, FT Maddie. He
was in here a couple minutes ago, so we should be. Nothing from Zoe yet.
Sounds good, bro. Perfect.
Oh, there's Zoe. All right. So we got Zoe and Maddie.
We got Zoe and FT. Let's go. All right. Okay, all right. We'll keep it rolling here. We got 3 names. 2 more. Number 4th spot goes to, boom. Justin. Justin still in here? And then I'm drawing again. Let us know if you're in here, Justin. Okay, sounds good, brother.
Justin's here. Yep.
And Gary. Gary gets the duck race. Let's go. All right, we got our 5.
I feel like Gary's in the duck race every week.
I know I mean, hey, that boy deserves it, man. He deserves it. Oh yeah, wait, what am I doing? That's not the right thing. There we go. There we go. Let me go check. What are we looking at on here so far? We got Sam Darnold with 53%, Will the Thrill with 20, Blake Cashman and Pat Jones splitting third place here. Let's go.
I would probably agree. I don't know. I would have to. I mean, I went kind of with a sneaky game ball with my Jalen Naylor one, but I think you got to give it to Sam Darnold as well.
It's hard because he's a quarterback, but at the end of the day, I get it. I get the quarterback thing. I'm not going to put as much in there. He still had a great game. That 97-yard touchdown, beautiful. Justin Jefferson's a big part of that. Obviously, he hit him right on the button, but he still had that really ugly interception, in my opinion. So I'm just going to – if he didn't have that, maybe I would. But I'm going to say Blake Cashman. I think you – just like Van Ginkel last week, you heard him from the beginning of the game all the way throughout the end.
Yeah.
It wasn't just – it was a sacks. It was tackle for the loss. It was playing in coverage. I believe he had a 90.9 coverage grade this week, which is absolutely insane. So Cashman's going to be my guy.
And I think they said there's another thing today too that they asked Flores about what he knew about Cashman. I guess like his daughter. I guess he said like his daughter's friend's dad was like coaches or knew someone. Yeah, he was like a coach for Blake Cashman, and he was kind of the one that told him like, hey, this might be a guy you want to go pick up if you guys can.
Yeah, dude, what a pickup! Hey, Skol Mafia in the building, my guy. Let's go. All right. How many shuffles? Ivan Pace? Nah, we gotta do at least one.
Let's do Blake Cashman amount of shuffles. 51. I'm kidding.
51. I don't even got the voice for that.
I mean, those are solid to start, but no, we got to at least go 2.
We'll go. You know what? We'll go 3 to get Jordan Addison back as soon as possible. Boom. Let's go Cooler Ducks.
One more.
Nope.
Nope.
No. Trump Duck. Nope.
What are we doing? Come on, Duck Race. This is awful.
2 lame ducks. 4 lame ducks.
Oh, they're all colorful at least.
Yeah, we got Granny Duck. Who's Granny Duck? Gary's King Duck. All right. All right, let's do this thing. 3, 2, 1. Everybody knows whoever comes in first place wins a card. All that good stuff. Let's go. Who's in the win? Oh, we got Justin taking the early lead. It's tight with Gary. Zoe's the granny. And Zoe's sitting there in second place with FT and Dan hanging out in the back. Let's see what happens here. Zoe's just chilling up, slowing down a little bit. Justin's holding that lead. We still got 22 seconds left. I got the pink duck again, FT. Maybe the pink duck is it. Purple duck is always lucky. Y'all know that already. 14. Zoe's, I don't know. Zoe's got potential to bounce off that back. I think Zoe could bounce out that back. Oh, FT's like, no. Dan says no. We talked about purple ducks. Skol Vikings, baby.
Oh,
Skol
Dan
Vikings beating Houston. Boom. Purple duck takes it. Let's go, Dan. And Dan, I'm assuming, I know you've hit us up on our email. I'm going to put it in here anyways, because I literally forget where I talk to everybody on sometimes. But I believe I have you in our email, I thought.
But after 16 votes, yeah, basically Sam Darnold, 56%, Will the Thrill, 19, Cashman, 12, Pat Jones, 12. So pretty even. Pretty even there. But I mean, I think, like you said, I think Darnold and Cashman are the two that I would look at up over anybody else. Pat Jones, it sucks to stay. I mean, Pat Jones was really good too. I mean, 2 sacks is pretty freaking crazy. What he's doing so far this year, really proving that he should be a part of this team. You love to see it. So it's great that we have 4 names that we can argue that could get game balls instead of just in the past how it's been just 1 or 2 guys. So that's pretty cool.
Sounds good, dude.
But yeah, I guess if anything else you want to talk about before we...
Yeah, I would just say that's the thing is Will the Thrill. I mean, what a masterclass game. I think for when it comes to kicker, unless you're like, what's his name? Speaking of that, and we were going to do the underdog thing, but I couldn't get it filled. It's weird on a Tuesday, I think. So I was going to do that again, but we did win our last underdog from a week ago, and it was because we got auto picked. What's his name? Their kicker. And he ended up having like 6 field goals or whatever. If he has a game like that, otherwise for Will the Thrill, if he had a game winner or something, you give it to him. And I would just say that his longest is 39. Like those are kicks you should make regardless, even though a lot of people don't. So that's the reason why I wouldn't give the edge to Will the Thrill there. But man, we got to be excited about that.
Yeah. But anyway, Vikings week 2,
thank you.
Over the 49ers, 2-0 going into another tough matchup, which we'll be on here to talk about a couple more times before the week is over. I guess final wrap on Skolfest. Everybody that made it, thank you so much for all the support and showing up. If you didn't make it, we still appreciate the support and hope to see you there next year.
And thank you everybody that donated, and we're gonna make sure we have a special play. We got the video going. We got to do some editing and figure that out. So we are going to be dropping a Skolfest video on Rap's channel at some point in the future here. We'll definitely be doing some shout outs for everybody that made this thing possible for us this year and everybody that shows up. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It was a great time. I can't wait to see what that looks like moving forward here, but
for sure. But obviously Vikings are looking pretty good. So again, thanks everybody for watching. As we said, we'll probably be, I believe we'll be live with Dave tomorrow night, and then we may just go live for our pregame on Thursday. We still have to discuss that, but just keep an eye on the social medias, keep an eye on the community page. You'll see all that. But thanks again, everybody, for watching. We'll see you guys next time right here on the GG Sports Podcast.
Skol Vikes.